Hello and welcome to the General George Patton Museum of Leadership. I'm Chris Kolakowski, the museum director, and today we're going to look at one of the largest and newest artifacts in the museum collection. That is Foam 161, the Pentagon fire truck that was on duty on the morning of September 11th, 2001. During the attacks on that day, it caught fire and was severely damaged, and you can see the damage behind me here. After the attack, this truck was going to be scrapped, but leaders at Fort Belvoir pulled it off the line and gave it to the U.S. Army Center of Military History for future inclusion in the National Museum of the U.S. Army. But they changed their mind and needed to find a good home for it. We were already doing an exhibit on leadership on 9/11. They offered it to us, and we said yes. This fire truck arrived at Fort Knox on September 28, 2012. It had sat outside at a motor pool at Fort Belvoir for the past 10 years, and time in the elements had not been kind to it. A small group of volunteers from the Patton Museum, U.S. Army Cadet Command, and the Fort Knox Fire Department have been working for the past year to restore the truck to its appearance immediately after the 9/11 attacks. One of the things that has been required to do this is to replace the markings that, for whatever reason, had been lost in the intervening 10 years. For example, they've had to replace the Pentagon station marking, Fort Myer Fire and Emergency Service markings, make and model markings, and the front headlights. We have been careful during this restoration, however, to leave the traces of the attack on the vehicle. For example, we have left the soot in the cab from the fire, the damaged left rear area. Additionally, we have also preserved the rack on top of the truck, which was the scene of the first flag raising at Ground Zero at the Pentagon on the evening of September 11th, 2001. We're going to use this vehicle to teach leadership and to tell the story of Army leadership on 9/11. Now let's have a look at exactly how we're going to do that. I'm in the museum's Strategic Leadership Gallery, which is where the 9/11 fire truck will be. It'll be the centerpiece of an exhibit that looks at what happens when the Army's top command post was attacked, as it was on September 11th, 2001, and how the Army's senior-most leaders had to react to both the events in front of them, but also keep an eye on the big picture and react accordingly in the aftermath. Foam 161 will be part of two very special events in and around Fort Knox in early September of 2013. On September 10th, 2013, it will make one of its final trips ever down US 31W from Fort Knox to downtown Elizabethtown and back to Fort Knox. It will leave here at 2 p.m. and arrive back here at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The public is invited to line the route and welcome this historic artifact to Central Kentucky. On September 11th, 2013, at 8:15 in the morning at the Patton Museum, the truck will be a centerpiece of the post's annual Patriots Day commemoration, after which it will make its final trip ever to the Patton Museum itself. The public's invited, and we hope to see you there. For more information about the Patton Museum, please visit our website, generalpatton.org, or our Facebook page, facebook.com/PattonMuseum.